Welcome to the Rive Wavy Plants series, where we'll level up rigging and wave animation and work with different particle fields. In the first lesson, we'll create and configure the overlap animation of the stem and leaves and set up interactive animation for the petals. Let's get started. In the first step, we'll create a rig for the flower stem. Select the bone tool and create 3 bones. Expand the structure and rename them. Set the length of all bones to 100. Group the parent bone. Set the origin to the center by holding Alt and using the UI panel. Release Alt and align the group to the center of the artboard. Rename the group and expand the hierarchy. Select the pen tool and draw a line. Notice there's no Snap to Bones option. To enable snapping, create a group. Snap to the top point. Select the control group and move the origin to the bottom point. Now we have 2 extreme groups for snapping. Go to Edit Path Mode. Snap the point to the low group. Select the pen tool and snap to the top point. Rename the line. Remove the fill and add a stroke. Go to Edit Path Mode. Select the points and set the mode to detached. Adjust the Bezier handle positions as per the video. Set the Bezier handle distance to 100. Activate Bind Bones and select the 3 created bones. Bind the bottom point to the purple bone. Bind the Bezier handle to the purple bone. Bind the upper Bezier handle to the yellow bone. The top point is bound to the blue bone. Change the bone rotations. The Bezier handles follow the bones correctly, forming a smooth curve. Reset the bone rotation values. Change the stroke color to green. Switch to Animate mode. Go to Timeline 1. Set the duration to 12 seconds. Set the cycle time to 3 seconds and limit the work area from the 5th to the 8th second. Select the bones and set a key on rotation. The rotation value for bone 1 is -90. Let's reset it. Switch to design mode. Select bone 1 and set the rotation value to 0. Select controls and set the rotation value to -90, compensating for the angle change in bone 1. Return to the timeline and set a key on bone 1. Now the rotation values of all 3 bones are 0.0. Set 1's rotation to -8. Set bone 2's rotation to -15. Set bone 3's rotation to 380 degrees -25. Expand the values on the timeline. Go to the midpoint of the cycle and invert the rotation values. Go to the end of the cycle and copy the initial values. Select all keys and copy the cycle. Set cubic interpolation for all values. Move the keys to the start of the timeline. Offset the animations. Now we have a smooth stem movement animation. In the next step, let's adapt the stem animation for leaf animation. Switch to design mode and duplicate the artboard. Rename the artboard. Disable the background. Hide the stem stroke visibility. Select the pen tool and draw a leaf shape. Further refine the points in the Preferences panel. Activate Bind Bones and select the 3 bones. Bind the top points and Bezier handles to the purple bone. Distribute the middle points and Bezier handles evenly between the purple and yellow bones, 50% by 50%. Bind the bottom point to the blue bone. The shape binds perfectly, inheriting the stem animation configured earlier. Recolor the leaf. Return to the main composition and add the leaf-nested artboard. Group the nest and adjust the origin. Position the group. Now, let's bind the leaf to the stem using the follow path constraint. Select the track group and add a follow path constraint. Enable Orient. Click on the target and select the stem. Now, by adjusting the distance parameter, we can control the object's position along the selected path. Move the leaf one group inside track 1. The leaf's position is now bound to the flower's top. To synchronize the internal leaf animation with the stem animation, use Time Remap. Select the leaf. Add the leaf loop in remap mode. Animate time from 0 to 100 within the specified range. To configure offsets, loop the animation. The loop is set. Shift the animation on the timeline to achieve the desired movement. Let's configure the other leaves. Ensure timeline 1 is active and make 4 duplicates of track 1. Keys are also copied on the timeline. Switch to design mode and adjust the position of each leaf using the distance parameter. Expand the hierarchy for each track and modify the leaf rotations. Further adjust the distance. Offset the leaves relative to each other. The idle animation for the plant and leaves is complete. In the next step, let's configure the leaf artboard and add interactive touch. Create light. Draw an ellipse. Set a radial fill. Group it. Move the origin to the base. Position it at the leaf space. Move it inside the controls group. Add a rotation constraint. Enable offset. Set the strength to 50%. Click on the target and select Bone 2. Add a scale constraint. Enable offset. Click on the target and select Bone 1. Next, create 2 states for toggling. Switch to animate mode. Create a no active timeline. Select the light and set a key on opacity. Select the leaf shape and set a key on fill color. Select Bone 1 and set a key on scale. Duplicate the timeline. Rename it to active. Set light opacity to 100. Set bone scale to 120. Set the leaf color to yellow. The states are ready. Go to the state machine and create a Boolean input. Create a new layer. Move the states to the graph. Connect the transitions. Select the transitions and set the duration to 600 milliseconds. Set elastic interpolation. Configure the conditions. Test the functionality. It works correctly. Configure the listeners. Select the light shape and create a new listener. Set if pointer move, set active to true. Duplicate the listener. Change it to if pointer exit, set active to false. Test the functionality. We see that rapid input changes don't allow the animation to transition properly due to the long duration. To ensure the animation transitions to the correct state immediately after input changes, select the transition and enable Allow Exit during transition. Do the same for the reverse transition. Now the animation works correctly. Return to the main artboard to view the entire plant. We've completed part 1 of the lesson. To continue this project and get access to the full lecture, join our interactive motion course. Visit our webpage to explore all the projects we'll create during the video lessons. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated with fresh Rive tutorials.